My wife and I moved to this area at the end of 1990, and we bought a property about 10 miles south of here. And after a few years we decided we wanted to set up a small theatre there. Rather bizarre thing to do in some ways, a little bit out of the way you might say. And at the same time we got to know Wigton, and in the early 1990s Wigton had the air of a town which had seen better days. Anyway, we got to know a few people in the town, and in particular John Carter at that time had a bookshop on the north side of the square there, and we learned of these plans for the Wigton might become a book town. We were very, very excited when that happened 20 years ago. And I seem to recall there was a festival that year. Was it that year or just soon after the setup of Booktown? There was a rather kind of anarchic festival, as I recall. But it was all good fun, and some of it was in the county buildings, which is this remarkable Victorian building at the head of the square. And in those days it was, again, had seen better days. It was badly in need of refurbishment. And there was a story that the council actually wanted to demolish it, which would have been absolutely awful. But with the Booktown starting up in 1998, funds were raised to completely restore the county buildings, which is a wonderful thing really. And the festival really built up over those years, using first of all the county buildings and other smaller venues, and then eventually having a big marquee in the centre of the town there, in the centre of the square. So it was a great delight and excitement to see the festival getting established and growing to a very big event it now is. And our theatre had got going. We started it in 1996, and really from the start, from the very first festival, we put on things at festival time so that people who were here for the festival, if they wanted to see some theatre, they could. And that has gone on to this day. In fact, every festival there's been theatre at the Swallow Theatre. Also, we have put on events, musical events, usually in Wigton itself. And Wigton is a great place for music. There's some very good venues. The Catholic Church on the south side of the square, put on events there, and lovely place, lovely acoustic for music. So I feel as if I've seen the Wigton Festival grow up really, from a small infant to a very robust adult, which it now is, and that's been a great pleasure to see that, and long may it continue. I have one of these magnetic sticker things on my fridge door which says, "I cannot live without books." And when I downsized and sold the theatre just over 2 years ago, it was the hardest thing to actually get rid of books. But in fact in Wigton, it's a great place to hand over books if you need to do so, if you want to do so. And there are many bookshops, including this wonderful bookshop we're sitting in now, very happy to take books, and they certainly took some of mine. And I thought, well, now I'm actually living in Wigton, I thought, well, if I give books away to the bookshop, a bookshop like this, and I eventually decide that I do want them after all, I can always come back here and buy them back.